Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? Sorry, I'm running a little bit late again. Get in the picture. Behind me, we have the Plaza, La Plaza from Barcelona. Very nice. So who we got here? Gilgamesh, hello, the 51 Project, Buried Axe Blade. Bushwhacker, hey Dustin, how you doing? Welcome. And that's all we've got. Liza, Helen, hello, the Ethiopian. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty. Now Bernie is going to be joining us soon. I have sent him the link. I'm back on StreamYard, so excuse the branding there. I haven't had time to get it sorted. So welcome. If you haven't heard, we're having a live event in Melbourne on the 25th, which is in like 2 weeks. And we have booked an amazing venue. It's amazing. Actually, while we are waiting, let me show you where we are going to be holding our event. If I can find it. All right, one sec. So yeah, $44.44, and it is the 25th of this month in Melbourne, in Collins Street. I'm not very organized here. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Okay. All right, can you guys see that? That's the hall. That's the hall that we're going to have our event in. It's an old church. That's another view. I mean, come on now, wait till you see the outside of this place. Look at that. This is where we're having our event, in this. A castle church. There's another bit of a view. It's just full on Free Tech Cathedral Central. And of course, it's mud flooded as well. So there you go. That is where we are holding our event. Did you all see that? Did that share? Yay. Hello. We've got here James, Anthony, Benny, hello. George, Matthew, Osbeast, hey, how you going? John Ori, Receding Gumline. Hello. Yeah, so we are having our event in that amazing Tartarian building. It's all booked. It's all paid for. I'm going. JCK's going. If you know her, we're both flying in. So if you can get there, get there. So what's everyone saying? Matthew, hello. Might be traveling to Melbourne in a few weeks. Well, a few weeks is perfect. If you're there for the 25th, grab a ticket. Thank you, George. It's going to be amazing. 4:44. So the real event is a full day. What? I don't get it. The full event is 9 a.m. till on the 25th till like 5:30, and then after that we're going to go out for dinner as well, like to a pub. If anyone wants to join us, and then the next day we're just going to have a meet up and have a walk around. Hello, Benny. Have a walk around Melbourne and look at all the buildings. So that's the deal. It's going to basically be a 2-day. We put this together in like a month. So we are going to Sydney next. Yes, we're going to go around the country. So we're going to go to Sydney next, and we're probably going to make it a 2-day event because we just couldn't even fit half the stuff in. Thank you, Gilgamesh. I'm looking good. Oh, that's very nice to know. The event is the 25th of June. It's Collins Street, St. Scott's, it's called. Yes, well, Truth Seeker in Oz, like I said, we're going to do every major city. Hey there, Jim, how you doing? I don't know if we're coming. Where are you at the moment? Are you still in France or are you back in the UK? We're not going international yet, but we're working on it. So yes, if you can be there in Melbourne, get there if you're close. But if not, we're going to live stream it, and we're going to have like a live streaming service. And then we're going to Sydney, then probably Brisbane, of course Perth, Adelaide, and any big, country centres. If anyone's out in some country centres and they want us to come and we can get a big enough crowd, we will come. So there you go. It looks like Bernie has arrived. Well, looks like Bert and Ernie have arrived. We'll see. Alrighty. Osbeast, yeah, it's in Melbourne, but we'll definitely be doing one in Perth. So don't stress. We're doing this one in Melbourne because Kay's been living there and she's just about to move back to New South Wales. So we thought while she was still there, we'd do that. Then when she's in New South Wales, we'll do that. Then who knows, Perth or Brisbane after that. But we're going to do the lot. We'll even come to Tasmania. We'll even go to Old Hobart Town if they want us. I think we've got a few people down in Tassie. Let's all say hello to Bernie, the crypto alchemist. Oh, with his new facial hair growing there on his chinny chin. I mean, you've always had it. It just looks a bit thicker today. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I haven't trimmed her in a little while, so it's the Russian side of me. I almost look like a Chechen, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of gives you that sort of
the Doukhobor ancestry in my family.
France. The Doukhobor. All right.
Ozarks, Missouri.
Oh, where's that?
Ozark. I want to check that out sometime.
Just talking about our Teresa in Brisbane.
George, Benny, everybody.
Just talking about the event we're putting on. Tickets at the door, George. We cannot guarantee it. We've only got 350 seats. We've sold over 100 already, and we've only just got the venue. So if there's some left, yes. If there's not, then no. So buy them now and don't miss out. Yes, Bernie, we're talking about the event we're putting on in Melbourne.
That's awesome. I wish I could make it, but sadly, I will be on the other side of the plane.
You're going to fly in? Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think I'm offended. I was just showing
one day soon we'll have that UFO technology or something where we can just pop up in those discs and get over there.
Yeah, well, we might have it already. Let me show you. I've got you. This is where we're going to hold it, and everyone in this. Sorry if you've seen this before, but new people who have just joined, this is where we are holding our first event. This is the hall.
Beauty. That looks almost like some Antiquitech style. The lighting things there. I wonder if there's balls of mercury in them.
These things. Yeah.
Or if they connect up to the spires on top, if they actually connect all the way to the domes, and if that's powering them, you never know.
Never know. We're going to have to do some scouting around while we're there, but check out the outside of it.
Oh, that's wicked.
What do you reckon?
That is as old world as it gets right there.
Isn't it? So we've secured this. Kelly has secured it for us. It's all paid, done and dusted.
Great job,
and it's
Kelly.
Yeah, I know, right? So, guys, it's coming together really well. Like I said, we've got people flying in. We've got 3 speakers, maybe another one to be announced, but like we've already run out of time, so we can't even actually fit anything else in. So we're just, 8 hours.
Never enough time in a day.
No. But we're going to go to the pub afterwards and then have a brunch the next day. Go walking the streets. All 300 of us. Why not?
right?
Oh, you just mute yourself.
That's like the price of filling your car full of gas these days.
Well, if you're lucky, if you're in a cheap, if you're not in America, it's getting pretty exy up here though. But yeah, 44. So there you go. All right. So what are we looking at today, Bernie? A little birdie told me that we might be looking at some pointers in the ground.
Some Grand Canyon pyramids and possible other crazy pre-cataclysm, pre-ancient cataclysm, pre-Younger Dryas civilizations.
Yeah, I tried looking for the Nazca Lines, and I couldn't find them.
Really?
Are they still there?
They just buffed them right out. Sounds like a NASA job to me.
NASA, yeah, the NASA lines. But you should see where they are. They're in this massive floodplain, so I don't even know. I don't know. There's a lot of lines. I just can't find the bird. What is it? A hummingbird?
Yeah, the bird, the spider, all the animals and stuff should be surrounded by pyramids too.
Spider. I thought. Really? Maybe we'll have a look at that and see if we can find it together. I've got Nazca. I found Nazca.
Okay, yeah, Nazca, Peru, the city, and then I think it's just to.
I wonder if that's where they invented it.
I do believe. And then
that's where they invented Nazca.
If you let my other computer in there, Bert and Ernie, I can pull up the Ferram Foundation's Nazca areas too, so he might have the glyphs there. And you can see between Bert and Ernie, there's one of my... This is essentially like a Baghdad battery attempt that I'm going to be making out of this device there. And those are nanotube structures that have grown just this ecosystem of metals and water in the period of 24 hours with a little electricity. But yeah, one moment, and I'll pop that up if you want to share the Google Earth, either or, we'll get her going.
Yeah, well, I reckon we'll have a bit of a look-see and see if we can... I mean, I thought it would be really easy to see. The Nazca line. Oh my God, where is it? Oh, there. Hang on. That one. So this is Nazca, and it even says Nazca Lines. But look at this place. Look at this floodplain. This is ridiculous. I did not know this was where the Nazca Lines are, but apparently we're definitely in South America or in Nazca region.
Yeah, that was definitely some of it. And then there's stories that some of the big pyramids from around there, when the Spanish were conquering and destroying, they actually diverted the rivers to wash out and destroy the pyramids, trying to uncover the hidden treasures below, supposedly. But yeah, so that could be part of...
That's what it looks like. Look at this.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, look at this.
It looks like it's flowing the opposite way from the ocean, which... Oh, no, that's towards the ocean. Sorry.
No, it's coming down, over these mountains.
My bad.
And then, so, it says Nazca Lines here, but there's nothing there apart from lots of lines that aren't, in shapes.
You ought to just follow the lines up, and then hopefully there'll be some animals or pyramids, hey? But look at those lines. They just go across the whole continent, pretty much. And then some farming plots along the one river that still runs.
It's straight ones. And they're all sort of contained in this area. See how they all... Oh, no, I don't really go out there. What's this? Wow, what is this? Is that just farming? Yeah, it might be just farming. Just looks funny.
Could be farming. Could be ancient terraced.
Farming in a flood.
Too.
It kind of looks like ancient terracing, doesn't it?
It does, and that's exactly what it could be too. Because if it was farming, it would probably be greener throughout the cordoned off rectangles and areas.
Yeah.
It looks like sand swept now, so probably was ancient.
Well, I mean, exactly. All this water doesn't look like it's flowing anymore, does it? It looks like it just comes through in a deluge.
It looks like there used to be
open or something.
Yeah.
Maybe this was a big lake or something, and they've sort of.
I wonder if it's like Africa and the Sahara, and also like northern Tartaria, where we should check out maybe if there's the first maps from that area from the 1500s, see if there's castles and stuff throughout cities throughout these areas where.
Oh, that's in this area. Yeah, right. Here's something. What's that? But everything's just been destroyed. So I don't know where these lines are and how they could even be in this region, because they would have been washed away, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
I always had. I mean,
it just proves to show how intense those Nazca lines really are. That they're actually drilled and dug into, carved into the bedrock, as opposed to just dirt or rock on top. And that's why they're able to survive.
I know, all that's the thing. Yeah,
oh, there we go. There's something.
What's that? No, it's hard to.
Crazy.
It's just
Hi, Laura G. Hi, Nicole.
That looks.
Stuart Henney, there's documented. I'm not sure about Costa Rica, but Cuba. There's a few sites. One really famous site 2 miles below the ocean, I think, or maybe 2 kilometers. Extremely deep below, but it's a giant, massive pyramid complex that was found, I think, somewhere close to Guantanamo Bay, actually.
All right, Nazca spider. I think I might have found something. Where is it? All right, there we go. Nazca spider.
We found the spider. All right, now I will pull up Fairham's geoglyphs of it, deciphering, and see what we get.
Glyph. All right, geez, you think they could have got a better picture? So, but yeah, you can see like why they call it the lines. Like, there's just lines everywhere. What's the other one? Nazca hummingbird. Oh, come on, give me a hummingbird. No. Doesn't want to show me the hummingbird, but we found the spider. So yeah, for that to have survived, I mean, this landscape is just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, that's like like terraforming, almost even more so. Oh, look at that flower. That's cool. Or that also could be, oh, what the heck is the design called? Like for the lasers and phasers, but like the focusing of it, I forget the exact design, what the name of it, but it could be essentially an energy structure as well. But it definitely
like one of those antenna type things.
Yeah, a lot of Michael Tellinger's work and research goes into something like that. that sort of technology and stuff in the ancient megalithic structures and stone circles and whatnot. But yeah, this is just insanely advanced and developed infrastructure, like terraforming. Like looking at this is just nuts. And that it survived all of these floods and annual rains and everything else, and that it's still all there is just, it's crazy and speaks to the level of advancement and work that truly went into this.
Well, I mean, you can see this isn't level. This is not
straight
level
through
ground.
mountains.
Look at these ridges.
Yeah, it's carved straight through the mountain range.
Yeah, straight through it. Didn't
like some of our telephone wires, power wires, and like pipelines look like this in the forest cut through trees. This is literally cut through the actual rocks and mountains, and like, look at that. There's thousands of them going for hundreds, if not thousands of kilometers. And what was that? Sorry, Campbell, right at the top. That looked like a giant water canal. If you scroll back to the top right. Yeah, right there. Oh, a road. Sorry, that's a road. Or is it a road?
Compass.
Yeah. Oh, good find right there.
Leaving their mark, right? There's so there's got to be a few more around this kind of area. Oh, here's one.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
this?
There's one.
It's hard to see. Oh, okay. And here's a spiral.
Yeah. Oh, in the top right corner
spiral
too.
Up
is that a road or is that a canal? That cuts through there. Must be a road.
Oh, at the top, is that what you were talking about?
Oh, it looks like a road.
God, it's the worst image. Yeah, they look like wheels, maybe. I think they could get us some better pictures, though, don't you?
And then to the top of this, on the other side of the road, Campbell. Yeah, look at all of that there. God. That's some sort of central point. Look at that. Is that caves at the top going into those mountains that it's leading into?
Nah.
And there's one more to the right there, possibly. Very fascinating stuff. I bet you there's some crazy underground cities around this part.
Yeah, look at that. They're indentations. See the shadows in them. It's like a massive cat footprint or something. But that's just, I mean, that is ridiculous that they're so straight. But when you look at the ground, it's just all over the place. And obviously water's come smashing through here at some point. I mean, look at this.
Campbell, do you mind just taking that comment down so we can see the full map there?
Oh.
Sorry. I can't do it anymore on this one, I guess.
All right. Oh shit. That one.
There we go.
There. Okay.
Oh, but now we lost the map.
No, you lost the map. There it is. All right.
Like.
Yeah. So look at this.
Can you measure to see? Are you able to measure from the top of those lines to see how far down they're going? Like that's just.
Right, from up here.
It's insane.
How do I do it? Well,
did Bernie buy his handgun before the ban? What handgun? I am a Dukabor. I am peaceful. I own no weapons.
So it's like 17K by 34. It's a pretty big basin, but then I mean, it all seems to sort of stop along this sort of ridge, doesn't it? Like there's not much down here.
Weird.
A lot of mine, and this is what I noticed before. There's mining around here. Where was I looking at? Yeah, down here. Was this it? No.
Yeah, the area was
that's the
known
worst
for
farming land
ancient
ever.
mines as well.
Was it? I found these. I thought they were. Of course, now I can't find them. But I mean, here's one here. You can see, like, they're just
clearly strip mine for
going
sure.
in and just like fully, yeah, strip mining that. There's an old one there, maybe, and
yeah.
I mean, look at this landscape. Holy dooly! Look at that. What is going on? It's
Just doesn't
insane.
make sense at all.
It's like, and of course, you know, now it's a desert, right? Because why? Because it got flooded with water. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let us not ask too many
Just
questions.
like Egypt. Just like Egypt, that has
Just
equally
like Egypt, exactly.
megalithic pyramids and infrastructure everywhere and civilization that just disappeared.
Yep, just disappeared. So yeah, they must. I guess they're all up here, so there might be a few more, but it's pretty busy up here. Jeez, look at this.
Yeah,
man. This
look
so
at
ridiculous.
that. Like, that's the leftovers of a
It's
metropolitan if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? An imprint of some futuristic metropolis.
Because even like official academia, which is always just BS, they try to claim that these lines are only a few thousand years old and that it would have still been desert at the time that the people built them. So how the heck did they build these when supposedly they didn't even have horse or cart in the middle of deserts for tens of hundreds of kilometers? It's probably thousands of kilometers worth, back and forth, like scraping away bedrock.
Look at this place. Ridiculous. I mean, look where the greenery is. Literally, it's if you come in, even if you come in by boat, you know,
it's almost like a nuclear wasteland left over from the other side where the jungle and every life is.
Yeah, it's like 50 k's from the ocean, and then if you want to go to the land, it's like 250 k's over mountains to get to this place. And like you can see the whole all up and down the coast is just desert. And it's not like they were building, you know, they had to go in there with you know, surveying gear. And that's the next question, right? How they get everything surveyed so big and so straight, like
right?
Airships, maybe.
Like, that's an impossible question to answer with what they claim that these people had and how they did it. I don't think that question has actually been seriously answered or tackled or even questioned by the modern academia.
No, they wouldn't like to tackle that one. That's just insane. I've never seen that before. So hopefully, first time for a lot of you, but oh God, look at that floodplain. That's just insanity. Look at it. And of course now it's just mountains. It's dry as, so you can imagine the amount of water. Because look at the mountains.
Yeah, right.
These are pretty high.
No doubt. How much water would be required to actually erode all of this and leave that sort of scarring and
in one
erosion?
And then it looks like it's come down. And then it's just pushed all the sand from there. It's pushed down onto this big sort of plain down here, where it's a bit flatter. And whatever this was in the middle. So God knows what that is. But there you go. Geoengineering, maybe, in South America. And then, of course, this is as green as, and this is just all a desert.
Right.
Totally natural, guys. Totally natural. It's just bizarre. And where's the Panama Canal? I was told it goes north to east. Is that right? Oh, it pretty much does. North to south. That's it, right?
Yeah, Panama Canal.
Panama Canal. It goes north to south now. Didn't it? Used to go east to west. Is that true? I don't actually know, but does anyone in the chat know? Did it used to go east to west? That's what I was told.
Not sure.
Who knows? Mandela effects, eh?
Right.
So there we go. Bit of a look at the Nazca Lines. What do you reckon? That was pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. Don, the whole... Oh, where'd you go?
And
the whole continent is a giant tree. Well, it looks like that. It also looks like... oh, gosh, what are they called, Bernie?
the
lightning lines when
ley lines.
the scarring you get. No, the scarring you get from electrical output.
Yes. Frick.
You know.
Why don't I know this? Of course I can't think of it in a moment.
Leichhardt or something. I'm thinking it's not Leichhardt, but anyway.
Something
there's
that.
a name to that. So yeah, who knows?
I should know this.
Could be. What was the grid is now petrified. Yeah, well, exactly right. Turned to stone underneath the ground, maybe.
I've
many
got
people say, so the body immersed in a fluid is subject to force equal to the weight of the displaced fluid. That is the first condition of weak. Well, this is true. It's like you can't push something without pushing back at. Yes, Lichtenberg. That's it, Lichtenberg. Thank you. I knew it wasn't Liechtenstein.
17 Joy. You got it. Campbell, I got on the share there. If you can put that up, we can go over that quickly. More of now.
Nazca. All right. Am I supposed to be able to read that? The Nazca Lines are a series of large ancient geoglyphs in the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. Some of the figures are up to 1,200 feet long, which is about 400 k's, a bit less. Scholars believe that the Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture between 500 BC and 500 CE. Oh, what happened? Most are simple and straight lines, which we just saw. Others form geometric shapes. Many are zoomorphic designs of animals and human figures. I didn't see any humans. The designs are shallow lines. Yeah, okay. So who believes that? There's something else going on there. The designs are shallow lines made in the ground by scraping away naturally occurring red pebbles. What? They made it by scraping away red pebbles, Bernie.
Clearly not what we saw.
Yeah.
Not what you see here either. Like they're
else.
going. The erosion is over top of it, or the water has gone through over top of it. So the catastrophe and that flood has happened since they were made, and clearly isn't just pebbles, because you can still see the lines despite the water erosion and watermarks throughout. So clearly it's actually carved into bedrock, and it's absolutely much more ancient than what they're claiming.
Yeah, well, I mean, these lines are everywhere, right? We've seen them in the northern America, in Australia. No doubt they're in Europe and Asia. No, they're just everywhere, these dead straight lines. There we go. We've got a star.
So
be interesting to
measures the length of these stars of the star here, and then it specifically points out to the Fiji Islands, the Hawaiian Islands, Portuguese Islands, Portugal itself, Reykjavik Islands, New Zealand, and so Buenos Aires. Just from the measurements and angles of this giant star right there in it. And then for the hummingbird, also the radial angle of them and the length here he's got. And yeah, points to all the different islands throughout Micronesia, Melanesia, Polynesia. And this is out of the hummingbird and just the angles of the lines and the length of them. And it gives you the exact coordinates to each of all of these islands in the middle of the South Pacific. And
it's like it's an airport map, like you hover above there in your airship and you look down and it's like, okay, we want to go there. All right, follow that trajectory.
No, Campbell, that is so plausible and realistic, right? It's just like, yeah, here you go. Now you're up. There's the map of where to go, and you're on your way.
Your way, yeah. Why not?
And he's going into some of Japanese geoglyphs and mapping, and how they also map out to these different radial spots. Oh, even so, apparently in Japan, it measures 3 spots in Australia. It's plotted to.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I wonder what all that means. Like, what are we talking? Are these like wireless networks, or are they maps, or? Because you see this stuff everywhere, don't you? And they're pointing to other places.
Right. And so once again, here's the area that was attacked and occupied by Japan during World War II, the height of the Japanese Empire. And it's essentially exactly, I'm sorry guys that it's on a globe map, but just for reference, it's what it's on. But so this is the Yanaguni island. So that's the underwater structure off the southernmost tip of Japan, the underwater Japanese pyramid. And so this is all the radial points that he maps out off of the angles of the wall of the Yanaguni structure. And this territory right here, you see, it doesn't include Korea. It includes parts of mainland China, all throughout Thailand, down New Papua New Guinea, all the way out to Hawaii, and up to the Kuril Islands there, which are Japan and Russia fought over forever. But this ancient map territory plotted out on a structure that's been underwater for at least 10,000, 12,000 years, if not longer, the Yanaguni Pyramid. This is the same identical territory as to what the Japan Empire occupied during World War II. It's
bizarre, isn't it?
I see it.
I know, right? It's like we're living in a story in a playbook or something.
Ooh, what's this Terrace Brazilis map of 1519?
Terra Brazil, 1519. Now, how come all these older maps, they've all got that sort of heart shape, but why is that?
Right?
I'm just
It's
wondering
a
if that's
flatter
accommodating
world
for land at the north. Flatter. Amerigo Vespucci.
Okay, stop sharing. There, here we go. Back to the
2 days. Sardinia. Yeah, I think I've heard about it.
YouTube. Or internet. Come on, internet. Is it loading? It's not loading.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it is.
All right. And then there's...
I discovered that Khan's Empire. Who's like Khan from... where was Khan from? Flash Gordon? Khan? No,
Khan from
Star Trek.
Mongolian Empire, I think. Which would essentially be Tartarian Empire.
It was also in Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan.
Khan. Good call. It's funny how they reuse their characters.
Probably the same story. It's probably the same story.
Right.
Just in space, right? Because that's what they love to do. They put it like in space because they can have the technology in there, and they say, "Oh, yeah, it's the future," but it's actually the past.
Exactly. There's so many. And it's crazy how all of these advanced like sci-fi different fictional movies and stuff, but they go into such detail in how their crazy hyperdimensional devices, generators, fields, and everything, the technology in the movies work. And then it's like theoretically you go through it and it's like that's actually pretty darn plausible. And are you guys doing a soft disclosure here for us? Because
Yeah.
what the
And did someone just work out a free energy device just for the movie? Yeah. It's all just for the movies. Just for the movies. All right, shall we have a look at the Grand Canyon? What do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the map up there to share. If you want to put it in.
Because there's you got a map? Because there's actually there's a channel called Egypt is America or America is Egypt. Something like that.
Yeah. And it gives you a whole nother flip on the Mormon story and culture too, right? Because essentially that's kind of what they believe. And they were the first to occupy huge swaths of this territory and land and resettle it. And the entire time, their entire faith and belief system is off of Jesus coming to America and there being this advanced, lost, ancient civilization over here. So who knows, right? It's like the soft disclosure in all sorts of places. Sadly, this map we're not really able to show the quality isn't good enough to zoom in too well. But there we can kind of see like Ottoman amphitheater. There's like Cheops, Buddhas. I got to find a higher res one of it, but it's all the names of every monument. They say monument, but every pyramid that is within the Grand Canyon complex. And we'll go through. I've got a few more pictures to share of some of these specific ancient lost pyramids that truly make up this area. And this area is, to this day, a no-fly zone. It's you have to be able to hike in there, backpack in there. You have to have a actual park ranger with you at all times, and there's only a few licenses to access it per year, apparently, to go into this area. And also where the legendary Kincaid expedition happened in the early 1900s of where they went in and entered and found the pyramids and whatever else, possible giant bodies and other things that were in it. Okay, so I'll stop this share, and then I've got another share here of a 5-minute little video that gives a good little breakdown of it, I think, as well as the topographical maps of the same area and the alignment that the peaks of these pyramids all fully align to the exact star system of the Orion constellation, not just the three shields like the Great Pyramids in Egypt, China, and Mexico City, but the actual entire Orion star constellation, and that each peak of each of these pyramids is specifically aligned to each star. So let's play this. And a good little intro. Oh, you're going to have to let me share again. Shit. Should have used the old system, Cambell. I guess you created a new StreamYard, hey? So I don't have access to share comments or videos.
Yeah, I'm just on a free one. How do I do I have to add it?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there.
Okay, I'll hit play, and it's 5 minutes long. I'm just gonna quickly run out for my worst demon of a cigarette. Little Nick fix while we play.
All right.
Gilgamesh of Bronx, that is our third topic. Don't you worry. The Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians are coming up next. Sorry, I've just brought it back and paused it to this point. So this is the Orion constellation with each of the big stars being labeled there on this topographical map of the Grand Canyon. And it's identical to each one of those dots you can see on this topographical map are actually the highest points, the peaks of these individual monuments or pyramids, and their oriental names from the past. And it's just something else. Like, this is such monumental mega terraforming that it's mind-boggling. It's insane. This is the Grand Canyon, like the largest canyon on Earth, on terra firma, it's impossible statistically, mathematically, regardless of whatever your belief is. It's impossible for nature to have formed a perfect alignment of each of these peaks to magically match up with each of the stars of this Orion constellation in the heavens above. So we'll just let it play through a couple more here. And like, even named after
Orion. And you said Oriental before.
Well, the Oriental Cheops Pyramid,
Orion,
Horus Temple, Tower of Ra, Osiris Temple there, Isis Temple. So Isis Temple is aligned to Bellatrix star. Betelgeuse star is aligned to the Tower of Set.
There's something to that.
So South star is O'Neill Butte. Alinitica star. Yeah. I don't know. Just crazy. It's truly mind-boggling. Yeah, so there it is.
Oriental people from Orion. Orion. This is very close to Oriental, isn't it? Orion,
isn't it? That is good catch, Campbell. Good catch. And the Chinese pyramids, as well as the Egyptian pyramids, both in antiquital Oriental land, both align up to the main three stars in this Orion's belt.
So yeah, I wonder what the link there is.
Also in here, just it blows my mind each time we take a look at it.
And hello, the hippie shake. I saw you jump on. And who else did I say? Oh, hello, Sketches, Jace, and someone else said hello to me before.
Like, look at that cave right there at the bottom right. And just the walls, like all these 90-degree canyon walls. It looks like terraced stepped pyramids. It doesn't look like a natural canyon. And I took in university geology and geography both for a few years, and it never added up to me, and it just does not make sense. This is not formed by a natural process, yet alone how the heck it is aligned to the stars in the heavens. It truly boggles the mind.
This doesn't make sense, does it? Just does not. Should we have a look? I've got. Is it up? Hang on. Share screen. Again, this is the Grand Canyon, but where is this the Grand Canyon here? Do you think? Or is it just like, what is that?
Right there. I think that's the Grand Canyon right there. Yeah. That's it.
So what, this bit in here?
No, right in the center there where the red dot is. That's the Grand Canyon along the river there. It's actually indentation, not outdentation.
So that's all like going down. Okay.
Yeah, it's going down there.
Yeah, all right. Okay, and that's the little river. So that's it. Okay, it's a big wiggly. worm. All right. That's
Yeah, and
pretty
then
interesting.
right
So
where the
this,
red dot there's the
what are
center
these
was that.
Liechtenstein?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, these look like Liechtenstein as well. Like this is like electrical, like when electricity hits or you spark wood.
Giant plasma arcs into
looks like fungus too.
the land.
It just looks like it's just been hit, doesn't it? Just like zzz, it's just like a big,
like the Death Star shooting its laser down,
really
carving it out from the moon or something, right?
Tatooine or something.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the Grand Canyon. So
yeah, right where that red dot is there. And then right above it in the canyon spot is the map where we were looking with the pyramids. So then, yeah, just that's the main camp. And then you go above it up into the canyon itself.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And then, right in that area. So right above the river there to the top right is, I believe, one of the big ones.
It's hard to
So
see
that's
the
entering
shadow
down
what's
into
going
the
on.
canyon. And then, above that, up top. It looks like it's protruding out, but it's actually going down into. They're inversed.
I know, doesn't it? It looks fully
inversed mountains.
It's just, yeah, literally, yeah. That's so bizarre that's a canyon.
Right?
It looks like a mountain range.
It's an optical illusion. It truly looks like a mountain range. Only mountain peaks that perfectly align
to the stars in the
sky.
So does that mean that these are canyons
area
too?
around it.
This is another massive canyon. I guess that's called Snake Canyon.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Look how long that is. Oh my God.
So all of this probably used to be flooded and was giant ancient waterways within these giant city pyramid complexes and stuff. And the Hoover Dam here, Lake Mead behind it there, that would probably be what all of this used to be. Hello,
maybe
lady.
It did get hit by something and it all got fried. And that's why it looks like this now. Because it just got like zapped by a plasma zap or something. Melted all the buildings. Who knows? Wow, there you go. The Grand Canyon. We are touring the realm today. All right. Giant stone tree. Lady Luke's. I never know how to say that. Is that Luke's? What do you reckon? Lady Luke's.
Right? I was
Luke.
wondering myself.
How do we say that? Here we go here. It was bad. Oh. We are at war, but not a war of the flesh. Exactly. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual. Oh, freaking creepy. I know, right? Locks. There you go. Thank you, Lady Locks. Right.
I suspected
the Sketches has an e-bike. I've been looking at e-bikes, but the good ones are cool, man. They're basically motorbikes, but I saw you can now get something and just clip it on your handlebars and turn any push bike into an electric bike.
It would be fun.
Cool. They had an electric penny farthing.
Rising gas prices, the electric scooters, where it's at.
Well, I see them all over the place, like just the scooters. People ride them to work all over the place around Perth. You just see them cruising down the footpath, and why not, right? If you live close enough, why not? Hello, Liz. How you going? Just pointed. Oh, where did that go? Just joined. Oh, thank you. I'm from Seville, Spain. The reason I know background is Plaza de España is Sevilla. Oh, really? It was built for World's Fair. Okay, that's why. I just because I'm on like a free trial, I just found a random picture to put behind me, but I forgot. So that's from a World's Fair too. I mean, and
that was also
isn't it?
supposedly a World's Fair in Spain. Hey, yet it's still standing. It wasn't made from mesh and paper, cardboard, right?
Exactly right. Thank you, hippie. Sovereign production plus Google only lets you see what they want. Yeah, well, exactly. So, you know, Brave browser. Use all these other things. You can even, I mean, there are deep websites. I don't know how good the deep web is, but it's supposed to be a lot uncensored. It's not, you know, like just a place for bad stuff. There's actually like a lot of, yeah. Well, a lot of people are like using it to put just uncensored info up now. I've heard. Nice. Put Antarctica and Argentina up on the map to see massive geoengineering. Well, Antarctica, I mean, they engineered that into a continent, man. That's a lot of engineering. I mean, look at the Bible. But the parable of the wheat and the tares is accurate. Oh, yes, the wheat, separating the wheat from the tares. It's what's happening right now. Oh, did I just push that? Oh my gosh, Jace, you're going off today. Don't you hate it when you click on something and you're in the middle of a conversation of,
right? Just
Antarctica is a massive. I've got some stuff. I'll have to bring them on. Someone sent me, and I can't remember the name, all these videos of Antarctica, well, of Google Earth back from 2014, and I'll have to get them. And I haven't got them on me now.
There's some interesting stuff out there.
Well, you can see it now. I mean, actually, it's up. Let's go and I'll show you what you can see now in Google Earth, since we are having a run around the realm.
Right.
But if you go
Google Realm Day.
So if we go and we go down to this thing, I mean, you can already see this circle, right?
Covered in white with a massive circle. See, right there, I think there might be a hole that goes into the center.
That's Antarctica. You're telling me these aren't fold lines and things, or they're definitely, I mean, that's not natural, right?
That's the center of the Earth right there. You know, that goes into Gartha.
Sun, maybe?
The inner sun popping out. I see that.
And you see these lines.
Bizarre.
You can see
that is bizarre.
Where you can see they've stitched it all together. So I mean, it's telling you it's a computer generated image. It's not real. I mean, they didn't even do that good a job. So you can imagine what it looked like 8 years ago.
Just like, ridiculous.
There's all this stuff underneath here that they've been covering up. But it's just dumb. It's the same at the North Pole.
Popping out now, and a hole into the center, and a whole other realm and universe underneath.
There we go.
Like,
what's down there, I wonder?
The world's most giant pipeline to the middle of nowhere. Like, what the fuck is that? Pardon my language.
And they've actually covered it up. You could actually see a bit more in there. I think I've made a video of it. I know UAP definitely has. Here, see how you get a bit of picture? Oh yeah, see how they've completely smashed it so you can't see, but see how looks like it's ocean and land and stuff.
They're folding the flats back into a sphere, possibly. You know, who knows? Like you're putting forward more evidence each time, or they're putting up more question marks each time we dive in.
They are, and so this is apparently the North Pole, and it's just data. It's not a photo. It's not a satellite projection or anything like that.
It's a NASA smudge.
It's just not. It's a NASA smudge. So there you go.
It's
The
like,
world
where
that
are
they
the
show
4
us
islands with
is
the
not
pygmies and the
real.
ocean going down into the center? Because I'm pretty sure that's what's still there.
Exactly. Well, that's what I, you see those maps, and they're kind of like a heart shape. I think we just saw them before. They're like that. I'm wondering if that's more, because that would give more space up here, right? Maybe for some, 4 continents with a big magnetic rock in the middle, maybe. Who knows? Who knows, right? So there we go. Google Earth.
I got a video up to play a
indeed.
little bit of, if we want, still on the topic of pyramids. It's a brand new combination of Dan Winters and Sam Avonovich of the Bosnian Pyramids. So Dan Winters, like, he's quite out there, but a lot of his geometry and wave science, it's real at higher dimensional advanced physics. Just he's quite eccentric in other things, but it's the science of pyramids they're discussing in this one. And Sam's he's the discoverer of the Bosnian pyramids, and now he's been researching it and developing the technologies of pyramid science for the last 30 years. And him and Dan Winter together here do beyond a fantastic presentation on the actual evidence and science of the pyramids. And we'll let it play for a few minutes here as Sam also shows the different radio waves. Yeah, for sure, brother.
I'll be back in a minute.
Chambers and passageways, they lose energy much quicker. The next element, underground tunnels. 40 years ago, Egyptologists were saying they don't have tunnels under the Egyptian pyramids, and now they admit they have tunnels under every major Egyptian pyramid. The same thing goes for the Mayan pyramids, Palenque and other places, Teotihuacan pyramids, they discovered tunnels under the sun, moon, Quetzalcoatl, and the Chinese pyramids. But on the Bosnian pyramids, we have the most extensive underground tunnel network, and so far we've discovered 6 entrances total, and entrances to 2 different levels, 476 meters above the sea level and 471. The next element, water. You mentioned the water, extremely important elements. We have 2 major rivers in the central Bosnian Pyramid Valley, and a lot of underground water flows. Water moves, releases the negative ions, one of the major elements for the benefits of human health.
And conducts the longitudinal array. And just not to back up, but when Sam mentioned that it's losing heat faster, we're going to talk about when phase conjugate neg entropy is working, the definition of success is spontaneous cooling, as in Schauberger. So we're going to talk about that parallel. Go ahead, Sam.
We are finding a lot of elements of sacred geometry on many megalithic and pyramid sites around the world. For example, equilateral triangle is one of them. In our cases, when we connect the tops of the Sun, Moon, and Dragon Pyramid in Bosnia, the distances between the tops, 2,180 meters, Sun to the Moon, Moon to the Dragon, 2,180, Dragon back to the Sun, 2,180. The next one, the green line shows Sun, Moon, and Dragon. The red line shows the top of the Love Pyramid, top of the Temple of Mother Earth, entrance to the tunnels, and the river Fonica. Again, equilateral triangle. Within equilateral triangle, elements of sacred geometry. We have also 2 golden section spirals, top of the Sun Pyramid, top of the Love Pyramid, 2 more pyramid hills, and so on. So they are playing with those elements of sacred geometry. Number pi, 3.14, for example, the Giza pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Egypt, 231 meters, the length of the side, 2 lengths, 462, divided by height, 146.6, result 3.14. So really it is, in front of our faces, all these elements. Why would they do that if they were just tombs for one dead body? Of course they were not tombs. They were built as the energy amplifiers.
Yes, and when we can exactly explain why those ratios produce a frequency signature and why that resulting frequency signature causes perfected implosion, that's when before people say, well, that's just numerology, but now we're going to see that it's actually electrical physics. That's the point.
It's much more than that, you're right. And the pyramid builders, when they were building those pyramid complexes, they would work on so many different levels, not just one. For example, astronomical features, the way they would lay out those pyramids. Of course, elements of sacred geometry, but look at this play of the light and the shadow. The photo to the left shows the shadow of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun in the middle of August when it is the hottest time. And further away, we can see the western slope of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon covered by solar vegetation in the forest. These are the afternoon hours. To the right, we can see the evening hours, the sunset. Just before the sunset, the shadow of the Sun Pyramid completely covers the Moon Pyramid, top of the shadow touching the top of the Moon Pyramid.
It's exquisite, exquisite.
Obviously, and we are looking at from the top of the Sun Pyramid. Obviously, it was astronomical observatory. And then, of course, other dates, we don't have a time right now, but June 21st, the shadow of the Sun Pyramid forms another pyramid to the right from the southern side of the Moon Pyramid, telling us the summertime, the hot days are coming during the September 23rd, fall equinox. We can see this shadow from the left of the northern side of the Moon Pyramid. They were playing with those shadows. They were playing with the heights of the pyramids, and they simply had to be those dimensions.
And remember, the optical shadow would be an indicator of the shadow of the longitudinal wave, which is the primary energy of the sun, how the sun grows plants in a dark basement. So the shadow of that longitudinal wave is actually how they're playing with the gravity wave. So it all fits together.
Wow. We also realized that the pyramids were always built above energy potent places. It can be underground water flow. It can be, for example, iron plate. Iron is very important because it generates electromagnetic field, and it seems that the pyramid amplifies this energy. And then another element which has not been mentioned in science at all. Our friend from Finland, he analyzed volcanic lines. When you connect two volcanoes, you are getting volcanic line. Now, it can be unlimited number of volcanic lines. However, megalithic and pyramid sites were built on the top of several intersections of volcanic lines. For example, the pyramid temples in Angkor Wat, Cambodia, 15 volcanic lines are below this pyramid. Cholula, the largest pyramid in Mexico, in the state of Puebla, is built above 18 volcanic lines. Gunung Padang, Indonesia, 17, and so on. The Bosnian pyramids, above 26 volcanic lines, and 15 of them has 3 or more volcanoes on the line. Why is that? Well, volcanoes has something to do with the energy. Iron, energy potent stuff, minerals, lava, and so on. Now, ley lines have been mentioned a lot, especially in southern England, with the claim that the majority of the churches, cathedrals were built on the top of the ley lines. Ley lines being underground energy lines, probably of the cosmic origin. Well, this is one of the maps with the ley lines in Bosnia. This country in the middle to the left is Bosnia. And we can see that at one particular place, there are the greatest number of ley lines going north, south, east, west, and also diagonal. To the right, we can see that the central place is not the capital city of Sarajevo, which is a little bit to the right, but the town of Visoko, where the Bosnian pyramids have been built.
That's called embedding. That's actually how you embed a longitudinal array and get leverage on the grid. It's perfect.
Our friend, unfortunately late, Dr. Harry Oldfield, he developed a camera which he named PIP camera. With this camera, he was able to film, he called them bioenergy fields, which are not visible to the naked human eye. This is the photo of just the regular pointy natural hill in Bosnia. Those bioenergy fields above, the green and the blue and the red, they are all horizontal. This is a village in Western Serbia. Above the buildings, we can see green and the blue and the red and the green and the blue. Again, horizontal. This is the red rocks in Sedona, Arizona. The most famous is the Bell Rock. You can see behind those lines. Now it's improved, updated camera. It's called the NEV, New Energy Vision Camera, which I have. And it shows, again, brown, gray, blue, red, always horizontal. This is the road from Aswan to Abu Simbel in Egypt, southern Egypt. To the right, we can see some pyramid hills, not artificial structures. Again, we can see horizontal.
Correct, ancient
hills.
orange baby.
And in the back, this is one of the pyramid mountains in Germany. They call it the pyramid, however, horizontal. And this is the case of Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. We can see the vertical bioenergy lines. Now, this is 2015. Dr. Harry Oldfield came himself.
Do you mind if we leave it playing for another 5, Campbell, and I'll just go out for a quick smoke?
Again, you can see a vertical line. What's happening? It seems that this red color inside the pyramid indicates that the energy is getting accumulated and then going through the top of the pyramid, making those lines vertical. This is nice panoramic photo of the town of Visoko back in 2015 and 16. Above 215, you see to the right is the town that has
some pretty undeniable evidence of energy interference, generation, directional, and all sorts of real measurable effects of these ancient structures Sam's putting forward right here. It's just been the technology to film and measure these different waves and energy
when we
patterns
talk about the change between
like
a transverse
brand new. That's why
interferometry, a transverse electromagnetics,
it hasn't really been seen before, but this is just crazy.
Versus the longitudinal plasma projection, that change is literally a right angle, that translation of vorticity. And so that the right angle of plasma projection, literally upward and outward out of the grid, is a profound indicator, in fact, why the ancients were called the El as in Elohim. So it is literally a right angle of translation of vorticity that changes from conventional transverse to the longitudinal wave, sometimes called scalar, which is the physics of the gravity wave, which is going to fit what follows this conversation.
Wow, wonderful. Now, I applied this camera to the second largest pyramid in Egypt, the Khafre or Khafren pyramid, and you see the same effect. We can see vertical bioenergy lines. Top right, those two things, these are two clouds, but whenever you have a blue sky, clean sky, no clouds, those lines perfectly vertical, for me, it was a sign that those pyramids, the Bosnian pyramids, Egyptian pyramids, are still energetically active, whatever it means. So obviously, we need a new science and we need new definition of the pyramids.
Exactly.
Pyramid are energy amplifiers. Pyramids are shortly the energy machines. A few years back, it was a lot of talk about the LiDAR technology applied in the Mayan world in northern Guatemala. They discovered 42,000 new structures in the jungles. We applied this technology 6 years before the Japanese in Guatemala. And look what it shows. To the right, we can see clearly the triangular face of the northern slope of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. But once we remove the forests and buildings, thanks to the LiDAR technology, we can see that the pyramid is going all the way to the bottom of the valley. We can see clearly the eastern slope, again, bottom of the valley. So this size is it gives us about 360 meters as a pyramid height. So it's amazing. It's, of course, by far the largest pyramid on the planet. The Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon, 190 meters, the central photo covered by soil, forest, and so on. Wherever we are digging, we are finding paved terraces, we are finding blocks. These are all sandstone plates, sandstone blocks in the combination with the clay. Here we are at the top of the moon pyramid. So we remove the soil, we cut the hole to see how the structure looks like. We can see the first terrace, the second, the third, and let's go in this hole. And here we can see, the first row of blocks, and then about 5 centimeters of clay, the second row of blocks, again, clay, probably as the binding material, and then third row of blocks. So we have a huge pyramidal structure.
And we could talk about those layers and the difference of dielectric between them as exactly how you increase the charge in the layered roll of a capacitor. So the difference in the dielectric of those two materials will indicate the power of that to compress charge.
Wonderful. Here we are close to the base of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon. We removed the soil, and now here we can see, again, sandstone plates. The one at the base, they are larger. In the middle, they are mid-size and small. Large, mid-size, small, all the way to the top. And when we see the layers, it seems that the Fibonacci formula can be applied here.
And we know the Fibonacci cascade leads to golden ratio, which is phase conjugation perfected.
Yes. Age. The pyramids are covered by soil. Bosnian Institute for Agropedology analyzed the soil, concluding the age is between 12 and 15,000 years, meaning the structures are much older. And then our archaeological team, they discovered fossilized leaves below the first layer of concrete. Here they are. We've run radiocarbon dating, and on the bottom of the report, we can see the age of 29,200 years, plus minus 400 years before present. So we go back for 30,000 years, and this is what really causes the controversies among the scientific community. But we are simply doing the science. Because when you talk to them about the age, they will tell you, well, at that time, there was nothing, just the primitive caveman. Well, on the bottom of the Pacific floor, monuments, they've been there much longer than the end of the last ice age. They are 80 meters below the surface of the Pacific. At one time, they were on the surface. When? During the last ice age. But when ice melted, Pacific rose for about 80 meters. Or Göbekli Tepe, officially 11,600. However, those megalithic circles, they did 4 radiocarbon dating. It shows 10,000 BC or 12,000 before present. That's radiocarbon. In order to get calibrated date, you're adding about 14 to 15%. It is 13,600. And that's a big no for the, cultural establishment, for historians, for archaeologists. They don't want to see anything in what they call Paleolithic times. But the proofs are in front of our eyes. And imagine, not one megalithic circle in Göbekli Tepe, not 3, as many as Dr. Klaus Schmidt, late Klaus Schmidt, uncovered them, not 6, as Turkish government did. More than 100. This is what he told me 8 years back. And you know what they teach us? They teach us only when the agricultural civilizations came, they had enough funds to build the big stuff. Well, after 25 years of research in Göbekli Tepe, southeastern Turkey, they have not found not a single residential dwelling. You should have hundreds of thousands of people living there to support such a huge projects, but no houses.
Yeah, that's what they said in the Dolmen in New England too. They said they researched it. They never used them to live in them. They in fact used them to charge their seeds, to rejuvenate their people, to plasma project and lucid dreaming. There was a very specific physics function, and you did not live in the sacred space.
There you go, exactly. Now, we are coming to the question of purpose of pyramids. Of course, you mentioned some of them. When it comes to the energy, we have had teams with physicists, electrical engineers, sound engineers, telecommunication engineers. Among them, This is the Croatian team. They are bringing their instruments. Once you bring the instrument and you measure, if you can measure, then you can scientifically prove that. So they brought their instruments. We can see Gauss meters. We can see, some other instruments like oscilloscopes, spectrometers, and they measure on top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, coming with the results that they have this frequency of 28 kilohertz energy beam on the very top of the Sun Pyramid, but also later on the top of the Moon Pyramid, on the top of the Vratnica tumulus. Tumulus in archaeology is, of course, artificially made conical hill.
And
another team,
you got 28 kilohertz on the top of all of them?
Yes.
Aha, so that's the moment at which I got excited and called up Sam and said we had to make this recording, because I'm going to explain how we calculated why that 28 kilohertz is there. That's very cool. Go ahead.
Yes. Team from Serbia brought their scientific instruments. Here's the list of them, and they got the same frequency, and they independently confirmed the 28 kilohertz frequency. We had team from Finland, from Italy, from Germany. They all got the same results. So when it's entering the tunnel, and on the top, we can even see when it was 2017, August 17, 2:28 p.m. Look at her auric field. It's been damaged because of the stress. It's discontinued and so on. After 1 hour, look at to the right. It is 4 p.m. It's such a huge difference. And then on the bottom.
All right, I'm going to pause it right there, but I'm going to have to look in and see. But Sam's claim is that they're measuring auras, and he says they measured about 4,000 people's auras before and after they enter the underground pyramid tunnels. So if it's verified that they're actually using the Carillion photography to take pictures of people's auras before they go in and after, or some sort of equipment, how he's getting the specific results here, if it's just computer generated, but they're measuring on that Carillion frequency, it would give serious scientific evidence of both the aura as well as these ancient structures, geometries, and sacred sites having real physics, biology, and energy purposes of their existence, creation, and advanced science of it all. And then, so I'll stop that share there. I posted earlier the link in the chat for everyone that wants to watch the full 2.5 hours over on Dan Winter's site. And then I've got one more up there, Campbell, if you want to put it up. It's, again, the Ferrum Foundation's research of the Bosnian Pyramid as well, and that these geoglyphs are also found at the Bosnian pyramid sites and in the structures of the angles of the pyramids, the mountains themselves of these Bosnian pyramids that he maps out and measures, and then comes to the conclusion that they had to be made at least 36,000 years ago, if not older, due to when and where the other locations that they're pointing to are, as well as what hasn't been built yet and aren't included in the geoglyph radials. And that's a major way that...
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that's how he's been able to...
I just want to say hello, Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Rich, how you going? He's now the Magic Treehouse. Got his channel taken down.
Savages.
And thank you to everyone. I've now hit 61,000 subs.
700.
It's freaking me out.
Congratulations, Campbell. That's huge. I'm happy for you. I just reached 1,230 people 3 times over the last 2 weeks. And it's like somehow they unsubscribed 10 people or something like in a day. I was looking at the stats. It's like -10 on this day, -10 on this day, -10 on this day. And it was like each on days that I was doing interviews on new other channels that it's like, if anything, I would have been gaining subscribers, not losing them. just savagery. But I'm very happy for you that you've got up to 60, almost 62,000, man.
Between
100,000 by the end of the summer.
Yeah, I've sat between like 44 and about 47,000 for like 6 months. And same thing every month. It's like, oh, you got 3,000 new subscribers. And I'm like, where are they?
Right.
and then suddenly, like 6 weeks ago, it's like they flicked a switch and they stopped taking so many, and it's just started to grow. So, and yes, I am currently live on 2 channels. Apparently I'm live on JCK's channel at the moment too. That's pre-recorded. So everyone was talking about me, and Jace, I don't know, Jace Ventura telling me to leave JC. You're JC alone, so it's going to be Jace and JC. Nice. So yeah, and that show, if you're not, don't leave to watch it, because it's coming on my channel in like 45 minutes.
Well,
so
then we'll be watching it here.
We can only do another half an hour or so, Bertie. We're going to get cut off. But that's all about the event. So make sure you check that out. The event is coming. All right.
That's awesome. I look forward to you guys' event out there. Okay, so
yes, and if you're not in Melbourne, we are going to live stream. We're going to have some kind of options there. The what does that say? The Farum Research. Geometry of the Bosnian Pyramid.
So
and of course, pyramid, fire, and fire in the middle. Oh, can't hear you very well there, Bern. Also, now there's 3 Bosnian pyramids. Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry. Back closer to the microphone now. So yeah, there's 3 Bosnian pyramids, one on each side of that big valley that has the town below it, and that they were thought to be mountains for the longest of time. And yeah, so here he's deciphering the different angles on the Pyramid of the Sun and what direction they're at and the length of them. And then I'll just scroll through, because it's on the other computer. You can't hear me that well. The next couple of ones, as well as where they plot out to. And it goes all the way to Luxor. And then I also believe it connects directly to the Medicine Hat Badland Guardians in Alberta, Canada, right by me here. And that'll be the last share that we'll do, is also the Medicine Hat ones. And the Medicine Hat Badland Guardians, just like some of the, on the same scale as the Nazca lines and terraforming required. And by the end of this summer, I'm planning to have made it out at least once to Medicine Hat to take my drone out. And for the first time, thank you to the generous donations that made it possible, and see if we can go up and get some aerial footage of it and of the faces, as well as the lines that you guys will see here in this preceding presentation. And also that I've seen pictures of the big balls, those big perfect sphere balls that appear everywhere, whether it's Easter Island or Antarctica or the Arctic or Costa Rica.
The stone balls.
Those stone balls. So, supposedly there's picture. I have the pictures. Supposedly they're of the site in Medicine Hat, Alberta, by these Badland Guardians. So if I can confirm that, that's even more evidence of it being an ancient sacred site.
What do you think they are? Like petrified giant testicles?
Right? I have no idea.
Could be. Never know. Hello to everyone who's joined. And Hippie, I saw you posted something before that said to show a video, but I couldn't find the video.
I've got that loaded. So we can show it too by the end. That can be our Brucey bonus.
Okay. Well, Bernie's
Tigers.
Our Brucey bonus.
Oh, Cook.
Come on,
at the end.
Easy,
it's a pretty
Tigers.
cool
You got to say it in the Paul. You've got to.
Yeah, I've been talking to him. We will have Paul Cook on soon. So right there,
Easy,
showing
Tigers. It's time for a Brucey bonus. Oh God, that's so bad, isn't it?
I love it. You were good. That was pretty good, if I should. So the one Bosnian pyramid
Hello,
there.
Gov. What you up to?
Hello, Gov.
Hello, Gov. Is that your motor, is it? I'm from England and I don't know how to say the letter T. Even though I just said it.
So Tunis.
Actually, you're from Canada. I wanted to ask you a question. What do you call a boat?
A boat?
A boat?
We call a boat a boat. It's not a boot, it's a boat.
So if you were going to ask someone about a boat, how would you say that?
It's a boot a boat? I'm just kidding.
A
it's
boot
about
a
a
boat.
boat.
Okay.
It's a boot a boat.
A boot a boot.
A boot a boot.
Can't see a man a boot a boot.
Hey, Isabel alive. Hopefully we don't all need boots. No flood coming.
Boots.
So what we got up here
is boots
going
on my
directly.
feet.
Sorry, Cambell. Directly to the
I'm
northern.
going to see a man about a boat and boots. Sorry.
About a boat and boots. A boot about and boots. About a boot and boats. Oh wow, that's a tongue twister. All right.
And
back
that
to the
has been
map.
Fun with accents. Now back to the programming.
We have Tunis, Luxor, Egypt, and the tip of the northernmost Scottish Isle there on the UK. Those are the radials of the angles and lengths plotted out of the Bosnian Pyramid of the sun, the main one. So it's got those three on it. That's literally the angles of this mountain. So how does that work if it was naturally made? And let's see what the others work out to here too.
Wow.
Oh, so here he's showing it one of them points to this spot.
How is that done?
This is in South America or Central America, this Great Depression, and it pointed to an underwater spot. And he's showing that there must have been a giant cataclysm.
How square that is. That's like a square in the ocean.
Right? Isn't it weird? This
really
doesn't
weird.
make sense. And apparently in the Bosnian Pyramids, it points to this spot into a location that is in this giant crater.
In that crater? Oh, wow.
And then, so here's the next one.
That's interesting. Okay, so that's weird. Wow. So it's literally, these can be used as maps to go and do archaeological digs.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, so there he's saying that he believes the Pyramid of the Sun is older and that the other two pyramids are newer and from only 11,000 years, 12,000 years ago, right before the main cataclysm, I guess, because of where they've now mapped.
Well, that would make sense because the moon is newer than the sun, so.
Hey, good point right there. Fascinating. Did the moon come after the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria, or whatever the great Younger Dryas event was?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. I was talking to Jason Cakes the other day, and
I
asked him about and he said basically that the moon came after the cataclysm, because before the cataclysm it was the vapor canopy, and he didn't know there was either one or two suns. It was basically daylight all the time. And then after the cataclysm is when the moon appeared. And so, who knows, right? Because that's the thing. If we're talking about pyramids that are that old, then they've got to be, they're definitely pre-cataclysm. But he says that the Great Pyramid was built I think 2,500 years ago. So who knows, right? We just
lots of
we give the information,
and
and everyone in chat, you have to work it out and give us back the answer.
Exactly.
There's just so many questions. It's just opening up. So like but then, you know, then we also, you know, it's got to do with a lot of perspective too, you know, like, because a lot of these stories from the past,
and
they
Mandela
talk about
effect
land
too,
sinking
and
mountains
butterfly
rising.
effect. How many different multiple universes could be converging, right? With different history timelines all in one.
And then
he was talking about that too with you.
And then the whole, I was talking about, I don't know, I don't think it was on a video. Oh, was it? I don't know. Like timeline bleed. Have you heard of this? Like, so that we're in, if you can kind of imagine like different timelines stacked on top of each other, but some of the information kind of trickles through into other timelines. So, because all these maps we get, right? These maps, I'm like, when are these maps from? They got the wrong tropics on them. They're showing lands that aren't there
don't
anymore.
Exist anymore.
And I'm like,
then they
when
claim
are these
they're
from?
only
But
a few hundred years old.
Maybe it's where are they from? Yeah,
right.
Maybe it's
100%, Campbell. I'm glad you brought this up because it's something I've been seriously pondering and thinking about a lot lately, and that it's got to be from different millennia, different ages, or different timelines. Like, there's just no way about it. About it. There's just no other way about it.
About it. That's the thing. Because, you know, if we're talking, you know, massive cataclysm, I mean, the thing about the flood, you know, and a cataclysm like that, like, nothing on paper is going to survive, right? So where did these maps come from? They can't be that, you know, they can't really be that old, can they? Or so, yeah, we just don't know. Are they all fake? You know, who knows? We are working it out, though.
Right? It's perplexing to say the least. And that are these all these ancient monuments, these geoglyphs? Are these surviving maps essentially? And it looks like they are surviving, like maps from above. And so this is the pyramid of the moon or the earth, I think, that he's mapping those radials out. And one very interesting point is the one there in the middle where it says to modern border of Russia, and that it's pointing to that exact same place, and it's mapping this territory from pre-cataclysm or just after cataclysm civilization, and it's the exact same territory that exists today. And just like the Japanese territory in World War II and the Yanaguni, it's crazy how it remains.
Yeah. Is there a line of Nazarene on there or something? I can't read. Is that it there? Richie's asking where the line of Nazarene goes.
Oh, Bay of the Nazarenes. Bay of the Nazarenes, it goes west to. So is that either the tip of Portugal, Spain, or is that out? Where is the Nazarene?
Yeah, that's it there. So it's the tip of, like, the edge of Spain. It kind of pointing, I guess, out towards you, Rich, out towards the Canary Islands.
Right.
But definitely out. That's that top one on Spain, is it? Is that it?
Yeah. And then also the tip of Portugal right there being mapped out. The same, like, it's just crazy. These.
Yeah, cut it.
From so long ago and still in these places today. Just blows my mind every time I see this.
It does, I know. It's just.
And then
goes a lot of information with us.
And here he connects to Old City Moscow, and this fantastic Star City Citadel, and the geoglyphs of the Moscow streets. And that the Moscow streets of Moscow actually, when you applied the same technique of these angles, measuring the angles and the lengths of the old city Moscow, it literally maps out to modern day Russia's territory.
So I mean, it really harks back to energy, doesn't it? Like that there's sort of certain energies, you know, that, and there's borders of those, and so certain, you know, peoples or whatever cultures spring up in those areas.
That's a very good point, right?
Because,
the ancestral energy areas, and that these lines and grids are on ley lines as well. It's just
so maybe we're all tied to maybe that. You know, is there more than one network or more than one grid of ley lines, right? But we just don't, you know, they're just sort of superimposed, but are actually different grids that we can't tell, and so are taking different types of energy to different parts. Who knows?
I agree with Barb.
It's just
and
interesting.
We're
The
gonna have
maps,
to get
you know,
Michelle
like
Gibson back on this topic specifically because she's been looking into it huge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she would be the lady to talk to. So she's been doing a bit of traveling. She was out there doing a bit of boots on the ground, old Michelle.
Very awesome. As has Paul Gibson, and we're going to have him on in the coming weeks, as well as Olaf the Zwerker. I've been talking to, corresponding, and we'll finally have Olaf on as well here.
Nice.
So,
all right.
I guess
all the big names here.
Show the medicine hat.
Tell me, were you finished here or?
Oh, is it gonna load? No. Stop sharing.
Okay. We are back. Back again. All right. All paths lead to the Canaries. Yes. Lead to Richie. What have we got here? So many energy grids. We need Michelle Gibson in this chat. Yes, we do. S. Barb. Ley lines from the past. Michelle. Okay. Should I show some of these? EM, not the only kind of energy. Well, that's the main kind of energy. There's other types of energy out there.
Right, limitless types
that's
of
electrical.
Energy and energy.
Water energy, flow energy.
Richie saying thinks electricity comes in male and female. Quite possibly, right? Hot and cold, infrared and ultraviolet.
Yeah. Plasma, red-blue shift.
Right. Two different.
Hello, Kate. Thank you for joining us.
Sources.
Yeah, sorry, we only put this together like an hour ago. We didn't give much of a notice to anyone.
Indeed. But it's worked out pretty good so far.
Oh, go feed your dog. Yeah. Super grateful for the stream. Oh, virtual hug. Thank you, Brianna. That's all. Yes. Making me feel all warm and fuzzy. Have you heard the story of the warm fuzzies? We need to give more warm fuzzies to each other.
Orb
energy. Fuzzies.
Orb energy, it's like
orb
plasma
energy.
balls, ball lightning. They seem to also be spirits or conscious. Dan Winters goes deep into it, as well as Bob Green. Studying the fundamentals of ball lightning and how it is cold fusion and pretty much anything's possible within ball lightning. And I just did an interview with Bob Greener yesterday. That's pretty good. Worth checking out.
So is that the same as the orbs? Because
the glowing orbs essentially. Crop circles and all of that. They show up at the different ley lines, sacred sites, and whatnot. So it's the plasma orbs is what they are. So they do come from lightning,
it's
but
like
that's
it's like
not
Earth energy or something.
Yeah, and how like the
And then,
Hawaiian people believe that
remember-
it's like the spirits and stuff, and I've seen some other different videos and people around the world experiencing them as conscious entities over the years, and then also the videos of them producing
there's
those
been a few
obstacles.
videos. Like just in Zooms and that, there's quite a few orbs around. But remember spontaneous combustion?
Whatever happened to that? I actually remember reading all the mystery books in elementary school, always focusing on that, all the different stories, and it's like just poof, it's gone. Mandela effect, like it never existed.
Yeah, exactly right. Even quicksand is not really talked about much anymore. You know, that's when we were kids. It was like quicksand, quicksand. Oh my God, everyone knew about quicksand, but what happened to quicksand? What happened to spontaneous combustion? What happened to, you know, like maybe some of our like timeline got bled out into the one below us, and we've lost some of our timeline and gained some of someone else's. Because the whole thing with all this Tartaria stuff as well, where was all the info?
Right?
Like, why didn't
even
everyone
the
know
map,
about these
like
world's
before,
fairs? Like,
why was it
them,
never questioned on every map? It just started appearing.
Yeah.
And now you can't find an ancient map without it.
No, exactly right. It's on everything now. So they're playing with our timeline. That's why I'm so tired, right?
Exactly.
Keep buddy setting the timelines of buggers. What are people saying? The circle and the dot is an old symbol for God. There you go.
Yes,
and
the sun like your, and gold
very
and
nice toroidal dot there.
Absolutely.
Bullseye. Exactly. First time watching live, all the way through from the UK. Valerie. Welcome, Valerie Bolter. Thank you for joining us. Oh, and so, like I said, I've got another a premiere coming up in like half an hour or so. So we can do another 15 minutes.
We'll do a last little Brucey bonus video.
Make sure you check into that. Conspiracy bonus. So you've got to say it in a Cockney accent.
I do actually think of that a lot. The birds, the whales, the dolphins, and how they have, and the bats, different sonars and radar types of brains, and the magnetics of how supposedly their brains read the magnetic fields and stuff. It's like they would be in like a 4D, 5D sort of world. The interpretation of it, much different than our own.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, they literally live in, I guess, like a 4D reality, because they have height as well. Like they literally can go up and down as well. We don't fly.
Exactly.
You know?
And then when they get especially like whales or bats and stuff, where they're getting all those pings back and stuff, where like they'd actually be like the 4-5 like full spectrum realm, way more than the 3D perspective of our own, right? It's just nuts.
Exactly. Isn't it? And then their vision and stuff, like eagles, it's just silly. Who was it? Tridy just said, remember the ozone layer, the hole in the ozone layer. Back in the 80s when I was a boy, that was going to come in Australia.
Kill us all.
We were so close to it, right? It was going to
Oh, no,
and then it didn't. So then they tried AIDS and the old Grim Reaper. That didn't work. And it was pig flu and horse flu and mad cow disease.
Honeypox next, supposedly.
Oh my God. Yeah. We're all going to turn into, we're all going to regress, I think. De-evolve back into monkeys. That's the deal.
I think
Philadelphia experiment is still going on. Yeah, wow. Good point. Philadelphia experiment, and that again, that was what 40. That was 40s, wasn't it?
Yeah, in 47. So 60, 70 years ago now. It was in 47, I believe.
Yeah, 47. That whole period of World War II, you know, with this dude who starts with the H, and like New Schwaberland and relic hunting. You know, birds out there talking about Admiral Byrd about extra land, like all this Project Looking Glass, all this time travel weirdness.
Right.
It's
rabbit holes
just a mad
everywhere.
time.
Just punching holes through the matrix.
And then where are we now? Now we're talking about timelines changing, right?
Intersecting.
Hello. So,
Just
has this all been going on for 60
I think
years
there is
or something?
infinite realms.
But I mean,
I agree, Brian.
because
All right,
if
should we
they're
do a
playing
last
with the
little
timeline,
Brucey
then,
bonus?
oh, yes, okay. Let's do... No, you've got to say it in a Cockney accent. Come on, let's do it properly. That wasn't good.
Time for Brucey bonus. It's a boot time
right,
for
there you
the
go.
Brucey bonus.
There you go, Canadian and English. All right, let's do
All
the Brucey
in
bonus.
one.
How do I get this? Oh, like that? Okay. Which one is it? This one?
Yeah. So we'll
Downfall of the
play for
Empire.
our Brucey bonus of the day, because hopefully we have Olaf next, and then Paul Cook in a couple weeks. Hopefully Olaf comes right away. Here's Olaf's 10-minute downfall of the great empire of Tartaria.
The downfall, destruction, and disappearance of Great Tartaria. In this video, I'll be discussing the theory behind the disappearance and downfall of the empire known as Tartaria. Tartaria, which had always been shown on maps since the beginning of cartography, is a vast...
That's it.
The sounds suck, so in true Brucey bonus fashion, we'll actually instead play... I posted the link to that in the chat for everyone, but the sound is too low for us to play it on here. So instead, we'll actually do Paul Cook's most recent video, What Happened to Moon Mountain, and the rivers of North Africa. And true Brucey bonus, easy tigers.
Man-made rivers and
all right.
All man-made.
Easy tigers.
Yes, I want to look at Africa, and in particular Northern Africa, because before the Sahara Desert was around, apparently it was all lush grass, green, flourishing,
Exactly what we were talking about at
all the
beginning of the
in Northern
screen.
Africa. And where did all this sand come from?
Was.
And what happened? Is the grass buried under the sand? And if that is the case, then that means the Egyptian stuff was built on top of the sand, which is on top of the grass. So that just messes up all the Egyptian dates, doesn't it? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, between 8,000 to 4,500 years ago, something strange happened. So between 8,000 and 4,500 years ago, something strange happened. The transition from humid to dry happened far more rapidly in some areas than could be explained by the orbital precession alone. Now, this is an ancient map, and it shows a heck of a lot of lakes in Northern Africa.
Right, like where did this map come from, and from what time?
No, there's nowhere near as many now than there is. I'd like to know what went on, and also there's meant to be a giant
that looks like a
underneath Libya.
In quotes, satellite photo.
So I'd like to know what went on. Was there man-made rivers that brought water to the Sahara that made it lush, or was it natural?
Right, and clear, true, real ancient map. From what time?
And then put the sand down. But where did the sand come from? Now, this map here is very interesting because every single river on this map comes from a mountain and then deposits in the sea. Very telling, very, very telling image, this. And another thing about this is quite interesting and quite important. It says the source of the River Nile is actually Moon Mountain, or Mountain of the Moons. Now, I've been doing a bit of research on this, and I've never even heard of this before. I thought that the Lake Victoria, or the Blue Nile, or the White Nile was the source of the Nile. But it's actually a lot further back towards the south, and it's Moon Mountain. But look at this map. All these mountains...
They're called
rivers are coming
Africa
from the
up the top. Is that like Africa's?
So what is going on here? Are the mountains man-made? Are there springs in there? I don't know what's going on here. It's the same everywhere.
So many questions
coming from the mountain, deposits in the sea.
Gaddafi, right?
Right, so this is
Gaddafi
actually
of
Moon
Syria.
Mountain with the two
Gaddafi
lakes that
was
supply
building the biggest
the River Nile, and this is
underground
Lake
Libya.
river
Victoria that
system.
Gaddafi in
supplies River
Libya.
Nile
Yeah,
with
and
the
he was.
Blue Nile and the
I know
White Nile.
exactly what you're talking about. It's the
So what's
largest
happened is, it seems there's somewhere
aquifer
along the line
project
they've
of all of
covered the
Africa.
river
It
up,
was going to
this
turn
Moon
into
Mountain River,
fertile
and
growing
made out
land.
that the Nile starts here.
We should pause the video and we talk.
So the next map you'll see is a
Sorry,
more
people.
modern version of the River Nile, and what it's showing you is Lake Victoria is the supply of that river, and they've literally cut off the river and the two half moons and Moon Mountain. That's not even on the map no more. So, and it's just a legend. It's just a legend. So it's very peculiar, very, very peculiar. And I've always said all mountains and all that stuff is all man-made, and it makes sense now. It makes a lot of sense. You'd have the water be in the spring.
That's a very good point, Paul. And Paul's also showed the waterfalls.
This is Moon Mountain. Let's have a look.
Right? Ancient plumbing.
With a pipe
Where did
coming
they come from? 100%.
Apparently, there was two lakes, giant lakes at the bottom or at the foot of Moon Mountains, and they fed the start of the Nile. So it's very, very peculiar. We've been fed a whole different story to do with the Nile. Very, very peculiar. But we're going to have a look at Moon Mountain now anyway.
And look at the amount of towns on that map. Around the edge there, man. There's a lot of.
And when I started looking at Moon Mountain, it got very, very peculiar. And you're telling me this is not man-made?
Oh.
Let's have a look, shall we? So you've got Moon Mountain here, which is this ginormous mountain range in the middle of, it looks like just above South Africa.
Right? And like it's got Tanzania and everything perfectly.
Africa, right? And something's going on internally.
That mountain is like hollow with a lake inside it.
Obviously where the water would come from. It would start here.
Cradle of Africa.
And then it'd carry on down the Nile. And just run the River Nile.
Jeez, man. Is it all engineered? Who knows? Well, there we go. Well, we might have to call it soon because I have to get off to my other premiere. So that was your Brucey bonus. And let me just show something quickly before we go. And it is this. You all have to come. Tartaria, Australia. Achieving the Impossible Dream. Live event 25th June 2022. Scott's Church, 156 Collins Street, Melbourne. With me, Kelly, and JCK. So you'll find the link below for
be
tickets.
there or be square
so
or join online.
Yes. And yes, if you're not in Melbourne or you can't get there, if you're in Australia, don't stress. Like I said, we're going to go around and do more. But if you're overseas, we will be setting up something where you can watch the whole 8-hour event live. So stay tuned for that as well. And if you want to know more, stay tuned to my channel because at 5 o'clock, in 15 minutes, there's a premiere and it is me, Kelly, and JCK talking about the event. So there you go. Make sure you tune in. So thank you all for joining us. Thanks for all the we had a couple of first time viewers. So thank you. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Bernie's channel link is down below in the subscription. So make sure you go across, say hello, give them a like, a subscribe, share it, and all that good stuff. And we will be back on Tuesday. I think we'll be back, and then from then on it should be every Tuesday, and we'll get our shit together.
Exactly. And
all right, guys. Well, thank you.
During those times, we'll have Paul Cook coming up, Olaf the Svirker coming up, and hopefully we can get Michelle Gibson back on. Love you all. Michelle. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Stay awesome.
Love you all. Stay awesome. Bye for now.